Hello, welcome to episode number 7 of the DeFi stablecoin experiment, and a happy Friday to everyone, where we look at how much interest we've earned over the last 47 days. If you want to find out more, then click for episode number 1 in the description below. So just quick look at the markets at the moment. We're at a market cap of around 1.4 trillion with a BTC dominance of about 44%, and what it looks like is that we're going through our sideways movement. So as I said last week, we're going to expect this sort of sideways movement in the entire cryptocurrency sort of market at the moment. And if we click into the Bitcoin price at the moment, and if we click on the 1 week chart, we did reach a high of around $36,000 at one point and a low of around $30,000. I think we're going to continue with this for the next coming weeks between, I'd say, 33 and probably a low of 25. If we do dip below 25, I think it's going to perhaps be a bit of bad news and perhaps dip a bit lower than 25, but hopefully it will just stay sideways movement. It's not going to go massively up or down for, and I think, the next few months, to be honest. And if we have a look at some other notables, so Ethereum has done almost 1% up at the moment. It's sort of following the footsteps of Bitcoin at the moment. It did reach a high of around 2,200. I believe everyone thought it was going to go much higher and probably go to around 3,000, but it didn't break that. So yeah, so it's almost gone to the sideways movement again with this particular crypto, and it did reach a low of around 1,700, which is very, very low actually for Ethereum. But as explained before, alts normally have more volatile fluctuations in comparison to Bitcoin. And if there's any other notables, there's not much other notables. Binance Coin has taken a bit of a hit. I think all-time high was just shy of 600. Now it's almost halved, just below halved, and it's now around $283. And Cardano is doing quite well. I believe Cardano is doing well because I think Grayscale has bought a whole chunk of this coin into their fund at the moment, so I think that certainly helped this particular. And other notables, I think Dogecoin is just gonna go sideways from around probably 30 cents to, I don't know, to zero, I imagine. And other notables, I don't think there's much other notables to have a look at, but another coin that's getting around, which is gaining a bit of interest, is Solana. So Solana did reach a high price of, I believe it was around, at one point it was around $60 or something. I need to double check, but it did reach quite a high price. But this apparently is going to be the next Ethereum killer, apparently, but we'll see, and we'll see the developments later on this protocol. So not much has happened in terms of the markets at the moment. So again, we'll just see further sideways movements for the next week or so. So let's take a look at Compound, and let's see our DAI on this platform. So we're at $1,009.64 for DAI, and for USDC coin we're at $1,003.02. Not very good in terms of the interest rate, because it has dipped even further, I believe, since last week. So we're actually it's actually very low at the moment. So I believe it's actually nearing to what we currently have in the interest rates in the US market at the moment. Perhaps the traditional market is actually even way lower than this. I'm not too sure about the US interest rates, to be honest. But let's have a look at the comp balance. So this is the bonus that we've earned. So we've earned so far 0.013 comp, and that equals to around $2.32, well, $4.64 in total, but if we divide it by 2, it's $2.32 between the two that we have, that we're earning on here. So that's our comp balance. So let's have a look at Aave and our balances here. So with DAI we are at $1,008.19, and with USDC we're at 997 0.99, and it seems to have gone lower because it's just slightly off the peg yet again. And I have to say that Aave's interest rates are actually quite dismal at the moment. I wouldn't even bother placing your hard-earned crypto on this platform at the moment, because it seems to me, I think originally it started off at quite high interest rates at around over 10%, I believe, when we started this experiment, but over time it's just gone lower and lower to now we're at around 2.3 for USDC and 2.6 for DAI, which is not very good at all. But the bonus is actually quite reasonable, I guess. So you do get Matic while you are staking both DAI and USDC. So we have $4.42, not $4.42, 4.42 Matic, which I think it is about $4.42 actually, which is okay. It's definitely not the number one I would definitely stake on at the moment. As we could see, these platforms, they can start off really good and the interest rate might look extremely good. However, because they're variable, this one has gone down to a dismal rate. So there you go, that's Aave. So let's take a look at Autofarm.network, and we will look into our BUSD to USDT liquidity pool, and we have earned so far $1,027.56. I believe we're up only a couple of dollars since last week, which is quite good. The APY is still reasonable at 9.1%, much better than Aave and Compound at the moment. And the auto rewards, we are at $4.42. Auto has taken a big hit in terms of the price, so this has lowered compared to what we had last week, I believe. And then let's have a look at BUSD to UST. We're at $1,037.56, so only $1 more, I believe, since last week, but again quite consistent. We're at an APY of 13.29, which is still quite good. And the auto reward for this one is $4.38, so not too bad. I think it has increased very slightly, but not too much. So next up, let's have a look at Anchor Protocol, and we're at $1,023.86, which is quite good because this interest has been extremely consistent throughout. It's hovered around 17 to 19%. It hasn't really fluctuated that much. It's just hovered between, and it's been sideways movement for this particular interest rate, which is why it's doing extremely well. I think overall this may perhaps take over, be number one, perhaps at the very end of the experiment. So give it a few more months, it will definitely be number one. And we're looking at getting around 54 cents a day, which is very nice. I mean, again, very good. And per week is around $3.83 per week as well. And not forgetting, this also compounds itself, which is just fantastic. And in a month we're looking to get around $16, and in a year about just shy of $200. Very good, I'd say. Very consistent, no bonus, but it's fine because we're compounding at a very stable sort of interest rate here. And last but not least, we have MStable on the Matic Polygon network. We have a balance of $1,012.36. I believe since last week, I think we've only gone up like $1, which isn't too great. However, the interest rate seems okay at 7.23. It does fluctuate, this interest rate, so what you see today won't be the same for tomorrow. It could go up to like 16, and then the next day after that it could go down to like 3. So it's not like Anchor Protocol where it's a bit more stable and a bit more consistent. This does fluctuate quite high in betweens, but $1,012, it's okay, it's not too bad. So here's the calculations after 47 days. Not much change actually. The top three are the same. There's only a few swapping in the middle, and then near the bottom, no change there. So again, Autofarm and BUSD to UST liquidity pool is doing extremely well. A total profit of $37.56, giving us a daily average of around 80 cents. And then if we add on our bonus of $4.38 in terms of auto, we do get $39.24 over 47 days, which is quite good, I'd say. But again, with Autofarm on the Binance Smart Chain, it is slightly risky, and that's the risk you have to take, I guess. But with that, having said that, the other top liquidity pool in terms of interest rates is the next one, which is BUSD to USDT, and that has given us that we've got a gain of around $27.56 on this one, giving us a daily average profits of around 59 cents a day. And again, with also that bonus also just bumps it up slightly with $4.42, and then if we add that all together, it gives us $29.14 over 47 days, which is good. But I believe my favorite still is the Anchor protocol on the Terra network, and using their own stablecoin called UST. It's given us a very consistent rate between 17 and 19% without having to do the faff of providing all your different supplies, all your pairings of coins to the liquidity pool on another platform, and then having to stake those liquidity pool tokens onto this platform. Terra and Anchor protocol is quite straightforward in terms of just you place your UST into this platform and that's it. You don't really need to think about much, and that's giving us a profit of around $23.86. It's getting around 51 cents a day, and there is no bonus, but that's okay. The interest rate is quite stable on this one. Stable is up from 5th place to 4th place, and it has had a slight gain of like $1, which isn't too much, but the interest rate has dipped in particular on that one, so we're getting around 26 cents a day on this. And so the other ones, Aave and Compound, obviously aren't doing very well. They're doing actually quite dismally in terms of interest rates, so for now I wouldn't recommend staking on these platforms. For now I'll just leave it because those interest rates are almost like traditional interest rates, I believe, so not very good at all. So if you do want to have a look at the top tier interest rates, I'd recommend these three. And yeah, so that's the calculations for this week. Thanks for watching episode 7. You know what to do to support this channel. Click on that subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and like this video. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.